Running a content agency is one of the best business models that you can run in 2024. The only problem is if you are trying to scale past 30, even 50K a month, you need to know how to handle a team, you need to know how to hire people. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I hire my team and also how I handle my team like a proper CEO, so you can actually scale past those 30 to 50K months. So if you're a content agency and you're burnt out right now, you don't really know where to hire, you hire people, but like they're not really the best, and yeah, you just end up doing everything yourself. Make sure to watch this video all the way through. So let's get right into it. So let's first talk about who should you actually hire. I have my notes right here. Well, obviously the first person that you need to be hiring is a video editor. There's no reason that you need to be editing the videos for yourself. If you're still currently editing your videos, like, my man, you do not run a business right now. You are pretty much just running an expensive hobby. I don't know what you're doing. Just hire an editor. Now, how do you actually hire an editor though? Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to build a proper system or a proper training on how you like your videos edited. So for example, a lot of people, you guys who are currently editing your videos, even if you're not currently editing your videos, I would pay somebody or pay your current editor to make a step-by-step training on how to make a video edit based off the things that you like, right? Like you guys have a certain editing style, you like certain things, whether it's animations, whether it's like whatever it is, effects, you need to make a training. Now, why do you need to do that? Well, in the actual hiring process of hiring these editors, you want to give these people a training and tell you to edit videos in like 3 to 4 days. Well, the editor to make an edit closest to the actual training or to the actual quality you want them to make it, that is going to be the editor that you are going to rock with, right? Instead of just literally hiring somebody and then realizing 2 weeks down the line that, okay, maybe this person really isn't really that qualified to be handling or to be working on my team, and for him to be handling my clients, for him to be editing the videos that my clients are paying me thousands of dollars for. So the easiest thing you can do, create a free training. Literally just like record yourself or have your editor record themselves breaking down how exactly to edit on Premiere Pro. Now, how do you actually hire these people? Well, to hire editors, there's a few websites, but my first one is onlinejobs.ph. It is a great website. You're going to find really cheap talent there, but the only thing is you really need to vet these people out and you really need to implement a training in place. Like that's why you need to have your training in place. You also use Instagram, you can use Facebook groups, but each of these things are all going to be saved if you have this one training. Like I'm telling you guys that it saves me so much time and just the overall hiring process. Now, how do you actually hire though? Well, when I put out a job post, I'm putting out the benefits, who I'm looking for exactly the person I'm looking for, and I put out the benefits of essentially the person working in my business, right? Because you want to attract good talent, and good talent typically wants they want to be working with an actual agency or an actual company where they know that they're going to get business, where they know they're going to get paid on time, etc. And the actual job post, like towards the end, and I'll put a screenshot of this up, basically what I tell my people or what I write in the actual job post is that in order for me to even look at your resume or whatever that's called, you have to upload a video of the editing style. I'll essentially link like a template, or I'll link like an example of a video that I want edited, and then I'll give them a file of mine, which is only like 20 seconds long, and I'll tell them, hey, you have to edit this in a certain way. Okay. Now, the thing with this is you're going to get a lot less editors who actually apply, but the people who actually apply, there's a few things. One, you know that they can pay attention to instructions. Two, if they're giving you a free video, that means that they're eager to work. That means they're going to be a great employee. And third, you can see the actual quality and you can qualify them just by that. So that's how you actually hire the editors. Let's move on to the second hire. The second hire is going to be a QC, quality control. This hire literally saved so much of my time. And this is where I really started to get momentum in my agency, because I used to literally QC all of these videos. I used to check their spelling, make sure everything's good, which was the most tedious task ever. I hated it. Even though it literally only took like maybe an hour out of the day, it's not only the time, but it's the energy that it's sucking out of you, right? Because 1 hour a day, that's like Monday through Friday, that's like 5 hours out of the week, 20 hours out of the month. If you add that up in the year, I don't know how many it is, 240 hours out of the year. Like it's a lot of time and also a lot of energy that's like pretty much sucking from you. So what you need to do is, well, you need to hire a QC. How do you actually hire a QC? Well, the easiest option to hire a QC is to promote one of your editors who speaks really good English. That's essentially somebody you can hire. Now, if you don't want to do that, again, go on onlinejobs.ph. And what I do is I put out a whole job post, and at the bottom, instead of them actually having to send a video edit, I essentially have them send me a 1-minute video of their previous experience and why they think that they deserve this job. And I also make sure I look out for people who have experience in transcribing things. You want to make sure they also speak really good English. So those are a few key things. You need to find a quality control person who can check all of the quality and almost handle your editors. Okay, that's gonna be a massive hire. The third one is COO Account Manager, another huge hire. At this point, you're probably at like 20 to 30K a month, and you see the potential to get to like maybe 40, 50, even 60K a month. But the problem is you don't know if you can double in size. You don't know if you can take on double the amount of clients. And that's ultimately because you need another you. You need another like Julian. You need another whatever your name is. You need somebody who can come in there and pretty much do majority of the tasks that you are currently doing in your business. So what you guys need to be doing is you need to literally map out your business all the way after you close somebody. What happens after you close somebody? Write down your onboarding process. Write down how you're fulfilling everything, how you're checking up on your clients, whatever it is. Write down each individual task. And literally what you should be doing is creating videos on how you do those individual tasks. Start creating SOPs, standing operating procedures, literally writing down every single thing you do all the way from the beginning of the day, middle of the day, end of day. And what you need to do, you literally need to structurize everything as well. For example, if you're having calls with your clients, you need to make sure you create a structure for those calls for those clients. So you can essentially teach somebody how to take those calls for your clients. But if they have no structure, then that means that you can't really teach somebody how to take those calls. So you have to make sure that you're starting to systemize and create structures for all of the tasks that you are currently doing. So that way you can just plug somebody into your business. Now, how do you actually hire a COO and account manager? Well, you also have onlinejobs.ph. Now, what I did is I promoted my QC into that position, and I had my QC train another QC, which was my editor. So that's an option. I've had people in my group get people from Facebook Marketplace, not Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups. So there's a lot of ways, but again, you want to make sure that they understand the infrastructure of your business. For example, my QC understood Monday, she understood Slack, she understood Notion. So it was a very easy transition for her. Sebastian in my group, he hired somebody who has experience in Monday, Notion, Slack, and all these things, which is where his business runs. So you want to make sure that somebody has, whoever the account manager, CEO, or operations manager, whoever you're hiring, you want to make sure that they actually have experience in running the infrastructure that you are primarily running, whether that's Monday, Notion, Asana, Frame.io, whatever it is. So those are the 3 hires that you need to be having, and with those 3 hires, you can scale very far. Now let's move on to how do I actually handle my team? This is a big thing, guys. Handling your team is something very, very important because here's the thing. You know what your business goals are. You have a passion for it. Now, what you have to do is you have to somehow get your team almost as passionate as you are, because I'm sure you care about your clients a lot. You care about providing a great delivery, a great service. So what you need to do is, well, you obviously want your employees or your VAs to care about your clients just as much as you do. Now, how do I do this and how can you do this? Well, the first thing is you need to have core values. You need to establish core values, pretty much your agency. I can kind of share you what my core values are. They're pretty much 4 of them. The first one is integrity. You're always going to tell the truth, and you're always going to own up if you mess up. Okay, so the first one is integrity. The second one is speed. Success likes speed. We need to make sure that we're always hitting deadlines and we're just always getting stuff done fast. The third one is quality obsessed. We want to make sure that we are absolutely putting out our best stuff out there and that we are proud of the actual quality that we are pushing. The fourth thing is client obsessed. The client always comes first, and we want to make sure that we provide them a great product or service. So that's my core values. Now, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you hire on those core values. So for example, every time I hire somebody into my agency, I tell them, hey, listen, these are my 4 core values within the agency. And I ask them, do you see yourself working with these core values? Most of the time they'll say yes, but if they say no, boom, move on to the next person. I'm also making sure that we have weekly calls with my team. I actually have 2 calls every week with my team, but you guys need to make sure that you have weekly team calls with your team. And in the beginning stages, you always have to talk about the vision, talk about where you are planning on taking this agency, and talk about the core values. Always instilling to their mind, hey, this is what I'm planning on doing with the agency. This is the goal. Hey, these are the core values. Always pushing it on them, or else they're going to forget. Okay, and that's how you keep them passionate, because if they see you are very motivated, very disciplined, and you have like a great vision, they're going to be inspired by that. Now, on these weekly calls, what do you actually talk about? Well, I'll tell you the structure of mine. Basically, once we have the first calls every Monday, and basically how we start off is I ask my employees, hey, what did you do this weekend? Just so we can get some good vibes. Oh, I watched some movies, I hung out with my family. Beautiful, beautiful. Once we get past that, I ask them, okay, what's one good thing that went well during the week? And what is one thing that could have gone better? I go after each person, boom, 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 boom. Awesome. Okay, great. Now I go over if my editors hit deadlines and my other employees like creative director, my QC, or whatever it is, if I gave them tasks, I go over whether or not they actually did those tasks and if they did them on time. Because if they didn't, we need to make sure that we check them and we need to make sure that we ask them, hey, why didn't you do these tasks, right? You need to make sure that at the end of the day, you're a boss. We're not running a charity. If they're not getting things done, we need to call them out, because if we don't call them out the first time, they're gonna keep doing it, and it's gonna get worse and worse and worse and worse, and that's not what we want. So we go over all of that. And then the last thing we do is essentially I pursue like what the vision is, what the goal is. Let's get some stuff done. I assign task, boom, that's the call. Literally takes like 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, 10 minutes. But let's move on. Now, I mentioned how I track all of my editors and all of my tasks for my creative director or all my employees. I make sure that they're getting stuff done. How do I actually track that? Well, in my actual systems on Notion, I pretty much assign tasks for each person. I'll give them tasks and I'll give them due dates, and I'll ask them like, how quickly can you do this? Ba, 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 ba. Boom. And then pretty much when they're in progress, it's like an assembly line. There's to do, in progress, completed. Right? Now my editors, how do I track them? Well, my personal assistant tracks my COO. Now what we do is we have like a full Notion board with each of the editors' names. And we have a few columns. We have name of the video, the status of the video, did we do it on time? Did I pay for the video yet? If my personal assistant presents that information to me, or I can just look at it. And if I see if a video wasn't done, we talk about that in the actual meeting. So that's how I track my editors. Also, one thing that you need to implement as well is end of day reports for your employees. What are end of day reports? It's essentially like they clock out and they give you a report of what they did by the end of the day. So each day I have all my team members fill out an end of day report that has their name, the date, ranker day 1 through 10 on productivity wise, 1 through 10. I give them what were the main tasks that you accomplished today. I give them, what went well today and what could have gone better. I have them fill out all of that information each and every single day. It's just a good practice you need to get your employees in, because again, we're not running a charity. You need to make sure that your employees are getting stuff done. Now let's move forward. Okay, how do you actually manage your team? I manage my team on Notion and Monday. I'm moving over to Monday. I started off on Monday, then I moved to Notion. Now I'm going back on Monday just because there's a lot, better automations and stuff. Although Notion is fantastic, don't get me wrong. I'm just moving to Monday. Communication channels. You need to communicate with your team on Slack, okay? You need to have a few channels, so make sure to write this down. You need a few channels on Slack. You need an editors channel, just with your editors. You need a management channel, which is with like your COO or QC. And you also need an EOD channel, which is end of day, okay? Now on the actual editors channel, what's gonna happen is your QC or your COO is going to tag all of the editors in the beginning of the day and tell them, hey, call out all the editors and the videos that they need to do. And it's pretty much like a templatized message. My QC does it every night and every morning. And then pretty much you have to have the first version done by 12 p.m. or 9 a.m. and then the final version by 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's what happens in the editor channel. The management channel is just any updates that I need from my QC or my COO. And the end of day channel is where all of your team members are going to fill out their end of day reports. And that's pretty much it, guys. I think I covered everything. If you have any questions on how to handle your team with your content agency, please comment down below so I can look at it and I can maybe make some shorts or reels out of it, potentially even a YouTube video. If you haven't already, make sure you check out the 100-page content Bible that I just created. It's literally 100 pages. It took me 20 hours. If you haven't checked it out, click the link down below. I pretty much show you step by step how you can scale your content agency. And I talk also about how to handle a team, how to hire, all that good stuff, and also how to build systems. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate you watching and make sure to subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video.